Hey everyone! Alright, let's get started by watching this YouTube video. I'm going to share my screen. On equivalent fractions.
If there were 4 socks to wear, then we would say there'd be 2 in each pair. And one of the 2 pairs we can declare equals 2/4 of all the socks there. Drawing 1/2 into 4ths on a number line shows they can be described with an equal sign. An equal value is what they're worth, so we say 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4.
Equivalent fractions is the name of fractions whose values are the same.
Once upon a time, there were 9 canaries on telephone wires sitting down in 3s. Each wire contained 1/3 of the bird, so 3 9s is equivalent to 1/3. Drawing 1/3 and 3 9s on a number line shows 1/3 equals 3 parts out of 9. Therefore, equivalent is the word that describes 3 9s and 1/3.
Equivalent fractions is the name of fractions whose values are the same.
If the numerator and denominator share a common factor, then you can divide the top and bottom by the same number. On top and under, and say with satisfaction we found an equivalent fraction. And you can multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. On top and under, which is really a fraction whose value equals 1. And through this action we find an equivalent fraction.
Equivalent fractions is the name of fractions whose values are.
Okay. Who can tell me what fractions are?
Pieces of something, I'm guessing.
So fractions are a number of parts in a whole. So you remember from the last lesson there are 2 parts to a fraction. There's the top part, which, what do we call the top part? Does anybody remember? I know you can't really see that. The numerator. And the bottom part is the denominator. So let's see. So, you are correct. The denominator is the total number of the whole. Now let's remember back to equivalent fractions. Who remembers what equivalent means? Anybody know what equivalent means?
Equal.
Yep, it means equal in value, the same part of a whole. In this lesson, we will explore more into equivalent fractions by using area and length. And we will do this by area by the shapes that are shaded and the length by using a number line. But as we go through, I want you to think about how we compare different fractions. How are equivalent fractions made? And why is it important that we know about equivalent fractions and are able to use them in math and real life? All right, let's look at this drawing on the board. I'm not sure if y'all be able to see it very good. Oh, I'm trying to move my board closer. Alright, so this is a rectangle and we have divided it into 4 different sections. How many of the sections are shaded? Can y'all see that? 2, right. So our fraction for this one would be 2/4. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Okay. Now the second one we've divided into 12s. So we have 12 equal pieces. How many are colored in the bottom rectangle?
6.
Good job. So our fraction is going to be 6/12. Clap your hands 3 times if you agree with 6/12. Yeah. Okay. Now, are they both shaded the same amount? Yep. So do we agree that these 2 fractions and 2 drawings are equivalent? Thumbs up if you agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, they are. Good job. Now let's look at the number line. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. Sorry for the drawings, but don't judge me for my drawings. But the top, we're going to look at 3/4. It's in 4 sections. Now, the bottom one's divided into 12s. Which one is equal to the 3/4? According to the number line. Sorry.
6. Can't see it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The 9 12.
9/12.
So, give me a thumbs up if you agree that these are equivalent.
They're the same distance, yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to read the book, the Hershey's Milk Chocolate Fractions book together and act out the fractions with our Hershey bar. I meant to tell y'all so you could grab a Hershey bar, but I forgot. All right. Wanna see that? Okay. The Hershey's Milk Chocolate Fractions book by Jerry Pilato and Rob Bolster. All right. So we're going to start off with our Hershey bar, which is our whole. And there's the Hershey bar. Milk chocolate, ooh, delicious. Here's Hershey's milk chocolate bar, the kind of Milton Hershey made famous. Before we eat it, we are going to learn about fractions. So our 1/1 equals our whole. Let's start by taking the wrapper off. Remember not to litter. Here we have one whole milk chocolate candy bar. And what is a fraction? A fraction is a part or portion of a whole thing. We are using a Hershey's milk chocolate bar as our one whole thing. If you break this candy bar apart, you will see 12 equal sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, this gives us the 12 12s, and you can also stack them on top of each other. It looks different, but any way you rearrange them, they still equal one whole candy bar. All right, maybe this is the easy way to understand fractions. What would you rather eat, 1/12 of a candy bar or 11 12ths? Raise your hand if you would want 11 12ths over 1 12th. I would. Let's see. If you love milk chocolate, the answer is simple. As you can see, doing fractions can be fun. Now, we're going to look at half of our chocolate bar. And here is the other half, but it is divided into 6 equal pieces. So 6 12ths is equal to 1/2. When two fractions equal each other, they are called equivalent fractions. Here is 1/3 of a whole Hershey milk chocolate bar. How do we get to the fractions of 1/3? Think of it like this. Our candy bar can be divided into 3 equal groups. Each of the 3 groups has 4 sections. So there's your 3 groups. I already messed up my candy bar. What is left over is 2/3. 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3. When the top number and the bottom number are the same, the fractions is equal to 1. Here's another way of saying 1/3. 4 12ths is equal to 1/3. And what is left over? 8 12ths. 8 12ths is equal to 2/3. 4 12ths plus 8 12ths equals 12 12ths, which is equals one whole candy bar. Here is 1/4 of our Hershey's milk chocolate bar. If you want to call this fraction 1/4, that is okay too. The amount left over from 5 12ths is 7 12ths. 7 12ths is another fraction that is in lowest terms. Now let's look at this page. There are 10 chocolate bars on this page, but one is open. So here's a way to get a fraction of 1/10. There's a 10 candy bars on this page, and 1 out of 10 bars is unwrapped. All right. So now you will go into your assigned groups, and you'll be able to do each of the different stations that are set up. The first one is Let's Talk Pizza, and you're going to create your own pizza and use it to divide to share with your friends. The other one is the pool noodle. You'll use the pool noodles to create equivalent fractions. And then we have a fractions workshop, which I think we should do that together right now because there's not, since I don't have the construction paper, but there's a game you can play with it. And I have a dice, so let's try to do that real quick if y'all don't mind. So y'all have that up and able to see it.
Give me a second. Mine is hiding behind all the stuff that we said earlier. I think I only have your the one you with the final. I was looking for the other one, but it's not showing up on here.
I think they all say final at the end, but it'll be like group 1, group 2,
Okay.
3.
Yeah, give me
Either
a second.
one's
I'm
fine.
looking at that one. Yeah, I got the group 1 final up.
All right, let's determine how many of each color we're gonna have, and then I can roll the dice and we can kind of keep track of it, just so we can have a little game with it. Since I don't have the construction paper.
Okay.
So how many halves would equal 1 whole? That's gonna be your red ones.
For me, the red pieces. If we're cutting them in half,
Yeah.
I need 2 red pieces
I need
to
2
equal
of
a
those.
whole.
And then how many fourths, which would be the 1/4? I think that's the blue one, if I'm not mistaken.
I would need 4 blues to make 1 whole.
Okay. And then our 8th is our green.
I would need 8 greens to make 1 whole.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the dice, and y'all just kind of keep track of which one you get. And whoever has the most is the one that's gonna win. And the dice has like 1/2, 1/4, and 1/8 on it.
Okay.
So you're just putting that onto your whole. Okay, so I got 1/8. So everyone will get 1/8. Now I got 1/4.
So each one of us has a 1/4, and each one of us has a 1/8. Gotcha.
Okay. One half.
Okay.
Another 1/4. Another 1/2.
That's a whole pizza.
Another 1/8. But if we're doing it this way, everybody's gonna get the same thing. I don't understand how that game works, actually.
I guess you should assign us each like a
You
color.
get the model, but
Yeah, so each one of us should have a color then.
ooh, that makes sense. Well, we both got. There was 2 1/2, so somebody already won.
Mhm.
All right, sorry. All right, now you can work on either the pizza one or the pool noodle, and then I'll transition in 5 minutes.
Okay. Do we need to keep the same groups like you got them?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Group 2, group 1 final. There we go. Okay, divided into 2 separate halves. Got it. Sally gets 1/2. I get 1/2. Have to divide it into 6. All right, Sage. So on the first one, the first pizza. On pizza number 2, me and
Yeah.
Sally both get a half. on pizza number 3, we all get 1/3, even though it's two. We all get 2/6, but then the equivalent is that one is 1/3 of the
Right.
pizza, pretty much. And then what was the last one? I'm sorry.
Third one, let's see. Billy wants to share. You
Yeah,
did that one, didn't you? 1/3.
12ths. Oh, okay. That was 1/12, because everybody can only get one slice.
Right.
And then the 12ths. So number 4 was 1/12.
Well, number 4 is you're wanting to do what's shaded, so what people ate before the teacher took it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
Sorry, I
Okay.
misread it. I skipped over that part. Okay, I'll redo it.
All right, we'll transition. How's everyone feeling with that one? Y'all ready? Or all right, we're gonna use our transition music. And I'll do the next one. Go with our Halloween theme. All right, the pool noodle one, I try to give y'all pictures of them because you couldn't physically have them. But
4, 6.
William, I think I accidentally left the answers on yours.
I don't see them. If
Okay.
you did, I didn't look at them.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I see.
Sorry.
I just overlook. I easily overlook stuff like that if I'm not really focused on it. So yeah.
I didn't mean to.
I'm still working it out though, so that way you can. Two fractions that are equivalent. Do you just want us to give you answers? All right. So for number 1, it's 4. It takes 4 of them.
Mhm.
For number 2, it takes 2 of the, excuse me, yeah, 2 of the fourths,
Mhm.
1/4. For number 3, to make equal the 4/4, it would have to be the full 8. So that's 1 because it's 1 and 1. The 1/6, it would take 3 of the 1/6 to make 1/2.
Yeah.
And then for number 5, I did equivalent fractions. 4/8 was equivalent to 3/6,
Yeah.
and 2/3 was equivalent to 4/6.
Thank you. Good job. Let's see. And you should do the 2/4 too. I think I had that on yours. Group 3 had 2/4. I gave them that one, and then I made William find his own.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Does anyone have any questions before we do independent practice?
No, ma'am.
Good. All right, now everyone to go to a place in the room where you would like to work by yourself to complete the questions on equivalent fractions. When you're done, you can look at the fractions book, or you can work more with the pool noodles. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You're going to use your fraction strips. They're on the bottom of that page I sent you under independent practice. Final. You'll be able to use those too to help you with your questions. They should be on the 4th page.
Use your fraction strips. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so Sage, you got a question on your number 4. Excuse me,
Okay.
not your number 4, number 3. So you got the 4/12 is equal to, I can answer that one. Then the next one is 3/6, and it says the equivalent is 5 over blank. So
It would be 3/6 is the same as 1/2. So
See,
yeah,
yeah, that one might be wrong.
5 what makes 1/2?
that's
Wow,
not
5
like kind of like got to look at it like from a fourth grader standpoint, because like if you say that 3/6 and they're looking for something that's equivalent to the 3/6, you can't just say the 1/2 because you want them to see the 1/2. If you just say the 3/6 and you don't give them a diagram or something to pull from, then they're going to say they're going to be in the same position where they're going to be like, okay, what are you saying? Like, what fraction are you wanting me to do?
Okay.
But
So you're
she
saying that
gave
one
us
might be a little more advanced.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is more
Okay.
advanced, but I mean, you gave us the strips of the fraction strips too on the last page
Yeah.
that you can use to
Yeah.
figure that out.
I mean, I was trying to answer this like thinking like fourth graders that I work with right now, and like you give them that, they're like, okay, what is that? I don't know to break it. I don't know to break it down
True.
to
The
1/2
symbols.
and then go to the next one. Because like if you don't say the instructions simplify to find your answer, then they're not going to simplify that down there and then say, okay, oh well, I get what you're saying.
Well, and I think it's harder for me to write them when I'm not with students like that every day.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's a different. This is something I definitely need to work on.
Okay. So do you want us to turn this into you, or are we good?
Yeah, I think we have to give them to Dr. Clark, but I'm not sure about that. But if y'all want to just
Okay.
send them back through the email, just in case.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to click on the edit browser part to put the answers in there for you.
Okay. All right. Does anyone want to share equivalent fractions that they made? I think that was number 5 or number 4.
I said 2/8 equals 1/4, and 3/6 equals 1/2.
6/9 equals 2/3.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
that
you're
was
fine.
it. Because I had the same one she had. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. All right. I want everyone to come back together, and if you're not finished, you can do your questions for homework. We're gonna participate in a Kahoot together. I'm gonna share my screen, and I think it'll give you the food. Can I see that?
Yeah, I gotta get my phone.
Did I just push classic?
Yeah, that's.
is the one that's not correct, not equivalent.
Hit the wrong
That
button.
one's kind of tricky.
No, I actually hit the wrong button. Just look down.
That is tricky. Let's see. Of course. It's a little harder.
Mine froze.
Now, who's willing to share pizza? You know. One person's not. That's cool. All right, that's it for that one. All right, so let's review. What are some of the ways that we've compared fractions tonight to see if they're equivalent? Anybody remember?
You use your number line.
We used our number line and we used our drawings. And the equivalent fractions are made how? Does anybody remember that part? I've determined this from like they're the same amount of a subject, of a part, of a whole. That's how they're made to equal each other. And why is it important for us to know about equivalent fractions and be able to use them in math and real life?
So that you can share your pizza.
Yep. Or chocolate.
Share my candy, share my pizza, share everything except for my person.
And also recipes. I think those are important to know your fractions for. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. How do I do this?